Hello everyone and welcome back to Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and today we're going to be going through the second noir level, the first of two parts for the second noir level, and so this is probably my least favorite noir level, both both for just level design, and then also for the villain that we're facing. Even though the villain that we're fighting is, I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, is a villain from the Spider-Man Noir comics. So yay. Unlike Hammerhead, who I'm pretty sure was just, or at least that version was a creation of, for this universe. Instead, we're fighting an actual Spider-Man Noir villain, which is the Vulture, who is creepy. He's pretty creepy, which is actually probably the best thing about this level is its villain. Like, I really dig this version of Vulture, like this very cannibalistic version where, he actually eats people and, is just a sadistic bastard. As Pete puts it in the intro. So that's fun. So this part we're just going through like skyscraper. Well, not really skyscraper. Oh God, these guys. I probably said this before, but yeah, getting caught is the worst. I hate it. Yeah, stuff like this can happen too, where even though you're right above them with no visible eyesight, they're still just going to be like, oh, whatever. Fuck your shadows. Fucking garbage. But okay, so let's get into the various let's get into my history with the Vulture. So I want to say that the first time that I really saw the Vulture in anything as far as media is concerned, it's between the 60s cartoon and the first Tobey Maguire game, which I've already talked about how much I love that version. So click the annotation to go watch that playlist, or just go check that playlist out. So yeah, that game was great. It had a great few levels with Vulture. You're chasing him in the rain and stuff, and you fight him where the Empire State Building is. Isn't it? Or is it the Chrysler Building? I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so the 60s cartoon, he was just kind of himself. He had a very raspy voice, and he also wore this hood thing, which he wasn't full on bald. He had this little cap on him, which I never understood why they gave him that, but I guess because bald people you can't have in your cartoons, for whatever reason. I don't think that was the case, but maybe it was just an invention of the comics at the time, and they were just like, oh, we gotta use that for our version. So I remember him briefly in the 90s cartoon, or at least a few episodes that I watched. I think he was in one of the DVDs that I had, or technically VHS tapes, but the whole thing in that cartoon was that he was an old man, but using technology, he was able to suck the life out of people and essentially make himself younger. So there's a point in the show where he just kind of he kind of flip-flops between being being like young and transforming into an old person, and then I forget how he becomes permanently young. I think it was like I want to say it was either the lizard or like Smythe had something to do with it, but anyway, I just noticed that there were two guys walking in two crates there at the end. So there's a point where like he drains somebody of like their energy or whatever, and then he's just like, "Oh, I'm permanently young, and I'll never change." So he just becomes a pretty boy like asshole, which is dumb. I'm trying to think of where I next. There's he's in the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. He's not the Vulture at that time, but he's like Mr. Trask's like right-hand man or something like that, or like his assistant. So there's like allusions to him becoming the Vulture, but that wouldn't be till much later in the Ultimate Comics. So until then, it was just he was just old man Toombs. I'm trying to think of where. I'm sure there's like another video game appearance between Ultimate and like Shattered Dimensions. I know for cartoons he was in the Spectacular Spider-Man. He was in that. He didn't wear green at all in that costume. It was a cool like black and red outfit, and he was voiced by Robert Englund, who is Freddy Krueger, which is is interesting casting. And I'm happy that Robert got to play both a Marvel and a DC character, because he was Scarecrow in Injustice 2, and his voice fits so well. Even though he's pretty much doing the Freddy Krueger voice, but with no like, not, or at least not that much modification. He just killed his friend there. Oh no, he's not dead. He knocked him out with a bomb. That was funny. I'm trying to think of where else I've seen that version of oh, okay. I thought he was like trapped by the boxes there. So just for context, it's been about a month or so since I last recorded parts for Shattered Dimensions, and I'm a little out of touch. So to be fair, I don't remember much of what I recorded for these videos, to be fair, but what I do remember is just like, yeah, it's not much. So, what was I talking about? Oh, something, oh, it's, oh, Vulture, okay. So I think this is the first boss fight for Vulture. Yeah, it's the first boss. So it's okay. So Spectacular Spider-Man, he's great in that show. Well, in the first season he's really good, and then second season he just becomes like Doc Ock's best friend, essentially, and you know, he's with him in pretty much every scene in season 2, which I never understood why, but yeah, it's whatever. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Vulture's voiced by Steve Bloom in this game, which is so odd after, like, because he's in Arkham Asylum too. He played Killer Croc, but so just quickly, this is the boss here. You just shine a spotlight on him, and then you just beat the shit out of him. and throw him into a wall. Sometimes he'll go to another like part of the room. I think that's more for like the end of like the second fight, but so he was in Spectacular. He's great. He's in this game, which is like probably the creepiest Vulture has ever been, or at least the most menacing. Well, I'm gonna go creepy because then I remembered. I just remembered Michael Keaton as a Vulture, who that is terrifying also, for different reasons, but. So I remember for Vulture, he's in the Ultimate cartoon, and that is a very different depiction where he's not an old man. He's just like a teenager that has been half transformed into a bird. And it's kind of lame. To be frank. What else am I missing? So the appearance after that is Michael Keaton, which Michael Keaton did a fantastic job. I loved his version of the Vulture. Like, as instead of just being like this scientist who created flying technology, he just is a blue collar worker who, with help from the Tinkerer and Shatari tech, turned into this creature that just steals Stark technology and some other stuff. And, Michael Keaton gives a fantastic performance in that. He's probably the best thing about Homecoming, by far. One thing I liked about that movie, too, is that, they took villains from, Spider-Man and they just made him a part of his crew. They have, Vulture is the head honcho. Then you have, Tinkerer, who, is, a young chap. He's not, this other, old man. There's him, there's Shocker, and I think there's one more, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong, but I'm trying to remember where else I've seen Vulture from. I want to see. Oh God! I just remembered the 2017 cartoon. Oh, that was terrible. He's young man trying creating flight tech, and he's got this stupid beak on his costume that's supposed to be it's supposed to be a visor for his suit, but it just is a stupid bird beak. Also, he's in the Insomniac games, which he's voiced by the same dude from the Tobey Maguire, the first Tobey Maguire game, which is really cool, and I'm glad that he got another shot at playing the character. Well, technically, he was in. Actually, no, I just remembered he was in Spider-Man 2 for the PSP, which I'm sure nobody else has played besides, I played it. I own it. What I should say is that not a whole lot of people have played that game. Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. I was like, why am I swinging around here? And then I remembered, challenges. We'll get some nifty upgrades. I don't know why I didn't save this guy before, but there you go. So, this is going to conclude the first part of the Vulture. Next time will be the second part, and we're gonna take this guy out. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. I will see you all next time. Thank you all so much for watching. And of course, don't forget to take care of yourselves. See ya.